have the power over all things. O Allah, accept this from us. Indeed, you are all hearing, all knowing, and turn to us in mercy, for indeed you are the acceptor of repentance and most merciful. O Allah, may you send peace and blessings upon your beloved Prophet Muhammad, his family and companions, and we pray. Amen.
Thank you for the prayers. May you be seated. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. We are gathered here today, 24th of June, 2025, the year of our Lord, at this historic event, Ufungamano House, to officially preside over the launch of the People's Restorative Justice Commission, PRJC, anchored under Article 1 of the Constitution, which provides for a formation of this kind of a commission that is people-led. And therefore, before we dive into the program, may I ask Advocate Eunice Lumelas, Advocate of the High Court of Kenya, to come at the front and administer the oath of office. Eunice. As we wait, Bernard, is there any form of entertainment? Very serious business. We can garnish it with a bit of serious entertainment. Hello? Hello? Anyway, back to serious business. I've just been reminded that Eunice Lumelas is not just an advocate, but she's a commissioner of oath.
Chairman and party leader DAP party, members of Jubilee Party, members of Parliament present, the clergy, and all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you and welcome you. for this event, and allow me to take this opportunity to congratulate
I, Justice Median Joka Muturi, appointed as Commissioner of the People's Restorative Justice Commission, do swear that I will be true and faithful to the best of my ability and power in the execution of the trust committed to my charge in the service of the people of Kenya, in the People's Restorative Justice Commission. I pledge to uphold the principles of justice, equity, and transparency, and to act with integrity, impartiality, and independence. I shall place the interests of the people of Kenya above personal or political gain, and ensure that every voice is heard, particularly those for the young, the elderly, the underprivileged, and historically silenced. I will safeguard the truth, protect human dignity, and uphold the mandates of this commission with courage and honesty. In all my actions, I will be guided by our shared humanity and accountable to the people of the Republic of Kenya and the law. So help me God.
Next, we'll have Senator
I, Daniel Kitonga Manzo, having been appointed as a Commissioner of the People's Restoration Justice Commission, do affirm and swear that I will be true and faithful to the best of my ability and power in the execution of the trust committed to my charge in the service of the people of Kenya, in the People's Restoration Justice Commission. I pledge to uphold the principles of justice, equity, and transparency, to act with integrity, impartiality, and independence. I shall place the interests of the people of Kenya above personal or political gain, and ensure that every voice is heard, particularly those for the young, the elderly, the underprivileged, and historically silenced. I will safeguard the truth, protect human dignity, and uphold the mandate of the Commission with courage and honesty. In all my actions, I will be guided by our shared humanity and accountable to the people of Kenya and the law. So help me God.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Next, we have Dr. Fred Ogola.
I, Frederick Onyango Ogola, having been appointed as a commissioner of the People's Farm to the best of my ability and power in the execution of the trust committed to my charge in the service of the peoples of Kenya in the People's Restorative Justice Commission. I pledge to uphold the principles of justice, equity, and transparency, and act with integrity, impartiality, and independence. I shall place the interests of the people of Kenya above personal or political gain and ensure that every voice is heard, and particularly those for the young, the elderly, the underprivileged, and historically silenced. I will safeguard the of this commission with courage and honesty, and all my actions, I will be guided by our shared humanity. Me, God.
Finally, we have Asha Bashir.
I, Asha Bashir, having been appointed as a commissioner of the People's Restorative Justice Commission, do affirm that I will be true and faithful to the best of my ability and power in the execution of the trust committed to my charge in the service of the people of Kenya in the People's Restorative Justice Commission. I pledge to uphold the principles of justice, equity, and transparency, and act with integrity, impartiality, and independence. I shall place the interests of the people of Kenya above personal or political gain and ensure that every voice is heard, particularly those for the young, the elderly, and the underprivileged, and historically silenced. I will safeguard the truth, protect human dignity, and uphold the mandate of this commission with courage and honesty. In all my actions, I will be guided by our shared humanity and accountable to the people of Kenya and the law. So help me God.
I thank you all. I congratulate you on your on the position and the mandate you have, and allow me to call back our moderator, Mr. Philip Kisia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wakili Eunice Lumelas and Advocate Njiru. Now, with your permission, allow me to call back you the legal basis, because some of you think that it holds no water. It is actually anchored in our constitution. So, Wakili.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I wish to take this opportunity to congratulate the new commissioners, and just to give the legal basis upon which this commission is premised. This is a commission that has been created as a result of necessity. It has been created as a result of the inability of the state actors to enact and or to execute their expected functions. Therefore, this commission, and I know there will be a speaker who will give the terms of reference, is first of all premised on a preamble to the Constitution. The preamble of a Constitution appreciates the supremacy of of God. It further appreciates the aspects of our aspirations, that we are a nation that aspires to be guided by the rule of law, the doctrine of constitutionalism, equity, and social justice. In the circumstances, the question of equity, equal justice, equity, equality, freedom or democracy are at great threat. And the institutions that have been created thereto, in accordance with the Constitution, have negated their functions, they have neglected them, they have refused. And of the Republic of Kenya, well represented by the political parties that have constituted this commission, pursuant to Article 1 of the Constitution, they have given unto themselves the ability to. And Article 10 of our Constitution, which lays down the values and the principles of the governance, among them the value of social justice, the value of equity, the value of respect for human rights, the value of sustainable development, and most importantly, the value of a democracy. This commission seeks to appreciate and is premised on the on those particular values. Most importantly, on the question of human dignity. Where we stand as a nation, the question of the human dignity has been transgressed. The excessiveness of the state, the arbitrariness of the state, and the inability of the state to be held to account and to have some transparency in the manner in which it deals with the citizens have necessitated the constitution of this commission. And therefore, this commission is further premised on the principles that are expected of a political party. A political party is not just a political actor. It acts in the space of ensuring that there is equity, there is social justice, there is equality. And therefore, the political parties that have come together to constitute this commission are alive to the fact that they cannot live and they cannot govern in an unjust society. That is the basis upon which this commission has been premised. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wakili. Now that we are properly constituted with our commission, once again, okay. Now, before we chairman and other commissioners will introduce a few of us who are here today. Of course, the the chairman and commissioners have introduced, and these are people who are well known: Senator Manzo, Asha, Emeritus Speaker, CS, AG, JB. Now, to introduce members of parliament who are here, may I call upon Mheshimiwa Mbui just to introduce the members who are here. Tafadhali. Makofi kwa...
Thank you very much, Dr. Philip Kisia. Let me begin by also I want to confirm that I'll be coming before you myself. I'm a victim of police brutality. In 2017, for those who don't know, in 2017, my leg was broken. I still walk with a pin from my knee all the way to my ankle on my left leg. And that was just because I attended a demonstration under Article 37 of our Constitution. Up to today, no single apology has been given to me. Of course, no compensation. And the person who shot me is still probably employed and enjoying the gains, the benefits of being in office. And I think those are some of the problems that Kenyans are going through. So I'll be coming before you to present my case. But I've been told to introduce the members of parliament who are here. I can see 2 members that are here. I've been told to just mention their names, but with all due respect, because there are only 2, I request that they just come up here and say their names. Honorable Mawade, Honorable Mule, for a minute, please.
Thank you very much, leader. The leaders who are here, Honorable Kalonzo, Honorable Amalwa, Torome. First and foremost, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the people of Matungulu, on behalf of the Kamba Nation, and on behalf of all the young generation, because I'm a father of the young generation, to congratulate the new commissioners. And I want to believe that justice will be restored. Under your chairmanship, Muturi, who has been my speaker for 10 good years, I want to assure Kenyans, the new chapter in Kenya begins today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the action. And I want to believe tomorrow these commissioners must be protected by the police to collect evidence of goonism and police brutality. And that is the Kenya we are taking. And I want to put it very clear to Kenyans. We are a serious country called Kenya, not through the back door, not through broad-based, blood-based handshake, through the Constitution of Kenya. And we are being given those details by our able lawyer. So I want to assure you, commissioners, we members of parliament, of like-minded, will be behind you, and if possibly, very soon, we should look in a way to bring taxpayers' money to make sure that you are well taken care of, to restore the dignity of this country. God bless Kenya. God bless the Gen Z. We are going to lay the flowers and respect those who lost their lives. I want to tell the government, it is not a story. It is not a hearsay. Tomorrow is a D-Day to commemorate our Gen Zs in Kenya. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon again. My name is Mawade, Member of Parliament, Embakasi South Constituency. And I first and foremost wish to congratulate the commissioners who have been sworn in today. We have a lot of faith in you. We have a lot of faith in your ability, because the restoration of justice in this country is long overdue. And this commission, I am sure and I'm certain that they will do what is just for the restoration of justice, especially for our kids, the Gen Zs and the millennials who have been killed in the last few years. Again, congratulations, and may God bless you.
Thank you very much. Mine is now to just introduce myself. My name is Robert Mbui, Member of Parliament for Kadhiani constituency. I hold a title of Deputy Leader of the Minority Party. But if you remember, after our youth were killed like dogs in the streets, part of my side, which is the minority side, became part of the majority, became part of government. So I'm now the de facto leader of the minority party in the National Assembly, representing the youth that were killed brutally by
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Excellencies, led by the 10th Vice President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, CS Eugene Wamalwa, chairman, my friend Thorome, President Kibaki. That's the only government we can remember. The others I don't know, but I can't talk about the rest. But he was a PS. I think, no, he was a PS during Uhuru's time. But to introduce our principals who are here today.
Thank you very much, the moderator, my friend Philip Kisia. His Excellency Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, party leader, Wiper Democratic Party, party leader, Democratic Action Party, my good friend, the chairman of the Jubilee Party, Mr. Saitoti Thorome, honorable members of parliament here present, the great lady who administered the oath, Eunice Lumalas, assisted by Council Degwanjiru. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My colleagues in the United Opposition sat and agreed that there's too much trauma that has happened, too many atrocities that have been committed, that we explore ways of addressing various issues that be there for this country. I will be calling on them to make their statements at an appropriate time because we will not be long ourselves. Safe to introduce this subject. Council Degwanjiru has given the constitutional anchor upon which this commission is posited. But I also want to observe that in all societies, emerging from a history of oppression and gross human rights violations, face the challenge of reconciling their past. This is not new. It has happened in various parts of the world. A people-led commission seeking to restore justice among its citizens. I want to appreciate that here in Kenya, we've had some numerous attempts to will not be having references to such in our constitution. Memories about the events of the last few weeks, this month indeed, last week, the week before. Is it possible
for the parents, relatives, and friends of those that were brazenly gunned down by policemen to accept and move on. The various efforts that we've seen, including prosecutions, are done in such a way that you can tell from the start that they are designed to flop, leaving families and communities with long-lasting bitterness. Indeed, you leave families, communities, neighbors traumatized. We are all quite aware that after the madness of 2007-2008, post-election violence, there was born the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission. It was anchored on an act of parliament. But I don't know whether my two friends, Honorable Robert Mbue and Honorable Mule, would remember that actually during the 11th Parliament, government moved an amendment to the TJRC Act, which for all intents and purposes made that TJRC report nearly unenforceable against anybody, known or indeed against government. Yet, you read in the TJRC report, it has documented various historical injustices committed to individuals, families, communities. So, the trauma persists. So we've asked ourselves the question, for how long shall this continue? Yet, we have an acclaimed constitution that's so robust in its provisions in the Bill of Rights, which is chapter 4. How are those victims, relatives, friends, and communities to receive justice? How are we to restore justice to those people, to those communities? It's for that reason that proceeding on the authority, as explained by Councillor Dewanjiru, we've taken it upon ourselves and the leadership, and we want to invite Kenyans to appreciate that the authority granted to us is derived from Article 1 of the Constitution. Our approach and core values will adopt a restorative justice framework rooted in the African values of Ubuntu. And this restoration of dignity to victims and survivors. The approach also aims to rebuild individuals, families, and communities, and indeed the nation, For we can talk about economic growth, but what does it mean to the mother whose child was taken more than a year ago without trace and has not received any answer as to whether the son is alive or dead? You can have the SGR, you can extend it to wherever, even the DRC. But that mother, that father, that brother, that sister will still remain with pain. This approach aims at trying to rebuild those families and communities, and in the process, build a more caring nation. In the process, we will seek to establish the truth, Mheshimiwa Mbue, and see whether we can bring some healing and some form of closure. And then, where necessary, bring in forgiveness and reconciliation. We also aim through this commission to put to an end this impunity that we have witnessed by embracing the principle of never again. Never again. By also putting memorializing, and through remembrance. We also aim to create mechanisms to support healing. And through our partners, seek to do compensation and restoration for victims, survivors, and communities. Ladies and gentlemen, I was merely to introduce more. If it is not on the screen, Ben, is it on the screen? I wish to announce, since we intend to hit the road running, that we've set up a website for ease of engagement with the public, through which we will receive petitions, representations, and other material, whether anonymously or otherwise. Other programs will be announced by ISEA. Other programs which we intend to undertake will be communicated by the other colleagues with whom we've taken the oath of office, because we intend to hit the stage running. So that was merely to give you the approach that we intend to use. You'll be given staff relating to how we intend to address the culture of impunity, how we intend to carry out investigations, and
I wish to assure Kenyans that whatever they give us is so secure. We should not worry about certain mischievous activities that we have seen in recent times from government trying to interfere with things that are done in all spheres of governance. But we will not be limited to merely human rights violations. We intend to also deal with issues that relate to state capture, as well as institutional corruption. Here as I sit, that in the 8th Parliament, some effort was made, led by the Honorable Musikari Kombo, of course, when, as you all know, KANU was whitewashed, that report, which had what we used to call the list of shame, whitewashed by NAC in the elections of 2002, the efforts led by the Honorable Musikari Kombo, pieces of legislation that are still in force today in Kenya, but very, very sparingly used. One, of course, we know because we have the EACC, they always pretend to be doing this or the other. But there's a key governance legislation that came out of that effort. The Public Officer Ethics Act, number 3 of 2003, alongside the Economic Crimes, Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, the ASECA. And to give effect to these laws, because we believe if everybody inculcated what is and practiced what is in the Public Officer Ethics Act, we would see very little institutional failure brought about by endemic corruption in this country. With those remarks, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite the moderator to call the next commissioner. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Another round of applause for the chairperson. Thank you very much. Now, this function for today has been put together by a very young man called Ben. So if anybody ever imagined that the millennials, the Gen Zs and the Alphas are not ready to take over the reins of this country, you are in dreamland. They are ready. So Ben, please, just come so that people can recognize you. Ben, and then of course, this Ben. So the success behind today's function is this young man. And of course, he received guidance from the back office. I know I've caught you unawares, but it's important that people know. Just stand up from wherever you are. I know you don't want to be seen, but just stand up and wave. Just stand and wave. You can even cover your face, but stand and wave. We recognize you. So there was a team behind this young man who have put this function together. So thank you, Ben. We appreciate you, and God bless you. Let me now call upon 3 commissioners to make their statements very short, not more than 5 minutes each. And to start us off is Commissioner Aisha, followed by Professor Ogola, and we'll close that session with Senator Manzo. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Your Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, The Excellency Eugene Wamalwa, Chairman Jubilee. We are where we are as a country because of the culture of move on. And today we want to say we cannot move on because healing as a country is important. We cannot heal when, since independence, there's a lot of historical injustice, and even now it is coming through a new formation of abduction and killings. Today is an important day because we, the people of Kenya, are saying enough is enough, and I'm urging all Kenyans that this is not about today and tomorrow, it's about the future of this country, and that for once as a country, we will not run away from the atrocities that are happening, and we will not say, move on. Today is an important day because it is the Kenyans who every day wake up to work and build a nation despite being wounded. Mental health is at the highest as a country. You cannot talk about education and health and other things when a woman is missing her child at home and she does not know what that child did. We have a crumbling police docket that instead of protecting Kenyans, they're the ones going for Kenyans. We are now degenerating to now having people hiring goons to come and attack another Kenyan. But you're forgetting that it can be your child you're attacking. It can be a sister or a brother. We are forgetting that these things continue to remain a scar. I personally recently lost my beloved father, and it doesn't happen on a normal occasion. For mine, it was a natural cause, but I can imagine you never understand the pain until you sit at the front seat. So there are millions of Kenyans since independence who've lost loved ones, and up to date, you're told move on. Up to date, there's been never a solution towards historical injustices. And if this generation that I am in, we keep quiet, we will also be blamed 5 years, 10 years, because we will have kept quiet at a time that we were supposed to give a solution to our motherland. Today, I request Kenyans, this commission seated here is more than willing to work with all Kenyans from all walks of world. It is for you to help us by sharing through the website. Soon the chairman will announce more other platforms so that you can share videos, you can share petitions to enable us work. Today we are saying we will not sit and be quiet as our country goes to a different trajectory that we did not envision. We want a country where we are not suffering from mental health. We want a country where equality is there. And we want a country that no one is above the law. Because if you commit a crime, that is where there is judiciary. We also pray that institutions will not be caught up with corruption, intimidation, and that we will not have a corrupt judiciary, a corrupt police force, and other institutions that are key in this country. We are simply saying that today marks the start, that we will move as a country to accept we will not bury the truth, to also accept we need healing and restoration, but most importantly, there are people who must be held accountable individually for what they've done to our motherland, because Kenya is me and you. Today, I want to say that it marks the beginning of a journey that as a country, we must not relent and we must not accept to continue the way we have been by covering what has been happening. Generations have come and gone. It is time for this generation to say enough is enough. We will not only investigate historical injustices, but even the current. But it is the people of Kenya who will share that information to enable us continue as a commission and work towards restoration and building a prosperous motherland that we call Kenya. Kenya ni home, asanteni sana.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to recognize the leadership from the United Opposition, led by His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, and the commissioners led by very able chair, Honorable Justin Muturi. I want to say that there is no better day than this in Kenya. And Chair, had we done this on the eve of 25th last year, we could not be where we are now as a nation. So I'm looking at the audience and look so serious. Some of you have not seen someone smile at them the whole of the day. Please, can you smile at your neighbor at least to... Somebody might receive a smile or to get a chance to smile today at all. Because we look like we are mourning, but I'm sure there's hope. Chair, as you said, never again. The word never again is important. Allow me to say that the commission is quite interesting to me, because when you saw Bishop Orowa praying, Bishop Orowa, I remember the day there's a child who died in Kibra, in that river, and there was money for the so-called disaster response. There was no response. And I went to Kibra and made the sign of the cross, and I walked with people from Kibra without looking for police notice. We walked up to the Senate and met Senator Manzo. Senator Manzo, without appointment, welcomed us and gave some support. Nowadays, we don't say what they gave. They'll say themselves. He gave some support to the family, but took us through the offices, but still we didn't get the money. So I am standing here, people calling you the people's economist. That's how people are suffering. Because I want to speak just on economic injustice in Kenya. I want to say that economic crime is a problem everywhere in the world. But in Kenya, it's not just a problem. It is now a profound crisis. Crisis. You know, a problem is there. But when a crisis comes in, it's more serious. It has now posed existential risk to our nationhood. It is systematically diverting vital resources that should be used to bring good life to people, education and health. But not only that, it's also being used, economic crime is being to SARS. Imagine someone takes money from you, then uses the money to suppress you with the very money. When I hear my brother John Buddy, that he's an expert, and he has increased budget, then tell you, you can't enjoy education or you can't enjoy healthcare without security. Yet, someone goes to Homa Bay, picked, then brought to Nairobi and killed. So, to really grow this economy. Secondly, the youth. These youths are very intelligent. Why they are dying is because of what they have between their ears. They are too. The only thing they can do is to hit their head to death. And I was in the mortuary with my brother, late Albert Ojuang. They were hitting his head until they broke the skull to his brain. Why? The one who died on the street. So these are what I call economic crimes. And what I'm trying to say is that I want a dream of a world when youth will be so free that they can survive without someone's support. Because what is somebody in Kenya, you must know somebody or worship somebody to become somebody. I'm sure young people, you can't accept this. I remember when I grew up, when I was in St. Mary's here at some point, when I came to the village, I went to say hi to my uncle who was high ranking. Then he told me, I am a son of nobody, so I can't talk to him because he's a son of somebody. So for us young people, I'm not very young, but I think I'm youngful or youthful. They say when you know nobody, you are a son of nobody, you know nobody, so you become nobody. This is what they want in Kenya, and I'm having the leadership of the
chair, we will try to fight that. The economic crimes have made it difficult for the business community to do business because you have to know somebody and sing them. You have to sing them unless you become professionally handicapped. If you look at the guys singing the current administration, they are very intelligent. But if they don't sing the current administration, their professionalism is useless. I'm sure we don't want to have that world. And our country is slowly gliding into hopelessness. Gen Z says, the fear is gone. You heard that, ladies and gentlemen? Dignity, human rights, constitutionalism, and the rights is what is. Only one who has nothing to lose loses fear. A rich man cannot sleep outside a house on the street because they have something to lose. So after being ripped of your all economic benefits, ripped of dignity, ripped of lives, what do you fear? You fear nothing. So when you hear young people saying the fear is gone, means we've taken everything from them. And that's why we need to restore. So the People's Restorative Justice Commission is here to restore hope. With time, we shall give you reason to hope again. The worst thing to be without is hope. Without hope, who can wake up? Tell me, if you don't have whether you can wake up, you have no hope there's be, even there's this meeting. Well, how would you come here if there's no hope? So we want to ensure that victims will receive long-term support through a dedicated Restorative Justice Fund. I was making a joke with my brother, Danson Manzo. When now MPs go to Parliament and MPs are here, they want all kinds of funds. But funds to support people like Ojuang, they want it to be in donation. That must change under this leadership. Looting, sabotage, and state capture will be investigated. Recovered assets will support victims and rebuild our economy. We will also have to ensure we memorize these struggles so future generations to come will know the cost of injustice and vow what our chair says, never again. We even ask the public to take an oath, probably, that never again. Everyone might have to take this oath, chair, as you said in our meetings, never again. We will make economic crimes so painful, but not profitable like it is now. And I go back again to my brother, expert, John Mbadi, who says that he's proposing a way on which if you steal money from Kenya, you can invest the money in Kenya, making theft profitable. We will make it completely painful. That's what we want to bring across. So that of John Mbadi, we call it in economics, wisdom of fools, because used to steal from him, then give him back. That's the only fool thing that we call it thoughtless experts. I'm about to finish, so don't be bored. Reforms. Truth and justice is finally underway, fellow Kenyans. The Commission wants to take Kenya back to Kenyans, because at the moment, Kenya is not in the hands of Kenyans. You don't feel that you are in your country. We have a dream that the Kenyan media will be full of miracle. We talk about the Singapore miracle. We don't have a miracle? You mean Jesus never came to Kenya? Or maybe there's no Muhammad here? Pastor Orwa has prayed, isn't it? Do you mean God did not come when he prayed? Sheikh has prayed, God didn't come. We want people to talk about Kenyan miracle, not Kenyans discussing about the Singapore miracle. We want the business community to find it easier to come to invest in Kenya below, because the law will be transparent, just, and fair. The taxation system must be good, fair. We'll enjoy participating in their professionalism. I can tell you a story. that the bottom-up economic model will bring down Kenya, the president said that he's the president, I'm not in Strathmore now. A professional voice is suppressed. When you speak like a professional, they call you a politician or an activist. In the US, professors speak in Harvard and they are respected. In Kenya, an economist has to keep quiet. And I'm sure, Chair, if you talk to the people you work with, you tell them, can you come to the commission and present? They say, yeah, I don't want to be seen. And these are professionals. Our Wakili Eunice, many people could have not accepted to take this oath because they don't want to do their professional work for fear of being abducted or maybe just being suppressed. So youths will get back the urge to work in their country, to holiday in their country, and to retire here instead of Kazi Maju. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya has everything it gets, justice, and you have to ensure that every child born today, when you see your child being born, you must see hope on their faces because they'll be secured, they'll be under leadership where you don't have to look back and forth, so that there's no calling on WhatsApp, no signals, just call with your number and speak freely the way telephones came. Once more, let me just acknowledge that we even have a lady who has come all the way from Kilifi, Chair, because he saw this thing, I don't know how she saw it, that she's called Mama Delila, because she believes that justice for Coast Province, land, they have even have a land minister who cannot do the work because they fear the system. So for us, we want you to decide, do you want to work for the system? Working for the system means working how they are working. Or do you want to work on the system? Working on the system means improving a little bit what is happening, isn't it? But for us,
thank you, Your Excellency. The Kenya Police